What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. I am making my way through Ancient Power number 69 here, and the theme of this particular Ancient Power reset is the Boomer build. So, Boom Servos only. I have to put a Boom Servo on every defense, or I can't use that defense. So I'm here, it's floor 63, we're in Temple of the Necrotic. Since I am going with all these boom builds, I do have quite a few boom servos saved. Basically every boom servo that drops I'm just saving in case I want to use it later on. However, the defenses I have set up right now is a Skyguard Tower. Support, boom, and diverse power servo on that one with deadly strikes, destruction, and defense rate. And a Gobu Boom power servo relic on my flame auras. And then we have some reflect beams. Accumulator servo, which of course is not really going to do anything for my reflect beams at all. I got melee boom on them just to qualify them for the challenge, and going with shattering torpedo, automation, and defense rate. On proton beams on the same EV, I've got this campaign relic, poison servo, defense rate, and melee boom. This is one of my old tester relics I decided to use. I don't mind that it's at campaign level because the main thing I want here, of course, is the poison element to be applied. So just going Frosty Beams, Destruction, and Defense Rate. I would normally probably not use Destruction here and throw in like a Destructive Pylon, but I don't want to spend any gold, and there's just no need to add Destructive Pylon into an Ancient Power build, specifically if you're trying to not spend anything. Then we got some Poison Dart Towers. Poison Dart Towers I just love having Piercer Servo on. However, I couldn't pass up this Chaos Boom Anti-Goblin relic, so I'm going without Piercer Servo on some Poison Dart Towers. And then I've got Explosive Traps going this time around. Destruction, Defense Rate, Deadly Strikes, and an Orc Boom on that. The Drain Aura, of course, is just incidental and is invalid for this tower, so won't be doing anything. Throwing some Explosive Traps in the mix because I want to have some physical damage. And then on the Apprentice, we're just using Earth Shatters. I got a Mini Boss Boom, Controller Servo. Really, literally any other Boom Servo would probably be better than this one. But it's got the controller on there too, so I figured I'd get some benefit out of having that Controller Servo in. So here we are, Temple of the Necrotic, floor number 63. Let's get this going. So starting things off, we got the front line over here with Proximity and Power Block. And then we've got some EMP Dargans, some Controlled Burn Flyers up top there. That will be fun. And then on the Skelly lanes, we got some Spellbreaker, we got Maximum Effort, Wall Leech, Pain Aura, and Headstrong. We got EMP Zappers that are Enraged. Over here we got just Timmy, Lethargic, and Vampiric. Orcish Horde with Bullet Sponge and Unstoppable, so enemies won't be able to get slowed. And then Zerker Healers with Long Shot, but also Armored, so, you know, you can use those to the advantage and disadvantage of the other. And then last but not least, we got Psy Frost Vanguard Throwers with Brittle and Soft Spot. We got Omega Squad Iota with Detonator and Pilot On. So let's start things off all the way over here on the side lane. We got frontline proximity, which is going to be really a pretty darn easy run. Especially 144 goblins out of 149, and I've got Gobu Boom on my flame auras. So, I mean, it's just GG's here in this lane. I do want to get some crowd control in the mix, though. So I'm going to go with a Proton Beam and a Reflect Beam. Just going to put the Reflect Beam just right down through the middle here to get the maximum amount of coverage possible down the lane. Then for the Flyers, we've got Controlled Burn up there, so we're going to need to get something applied. Now, I'm thinking I'm just going to go with a Poison Dart Tower up top here, or do I want a Poison Dart Tower down below? Let's go Poison Dart Tower down below, and then we'll go with a Skyguard Tower up top. The Poison Dart Tower will set the Controlled Burn, and then the Skyguard will get the killing done. Okay, over here we've got that Headstrong, but we've got another Skelly lane in with it. I think I'm going to do the Petrify build again. Now the Headstrong enemies, of course, are just going to march right through it. And here there's no cyborgs, so no reason to protect anything. Just going to stretch a Reflect Beam down through the middle of the lane, and then get a Proton in for that poison damage. Now, over here we have got Spellbreaker, so this lane is going to want a little bit of physical damage, but in addition to that, they're all skeletons, which are going to take increased damage from sources of fire damage. So getting a little fire damage in the mix is going to be a good thing. We'll do that about like that. And what else? Well, this lane has got that Headstrong, so anything here will not get stunned. I'm just kind of banking on them getting killed by the Flame Auras. However, over here we got Spellbreaker, and we can do a little something with Spellbreaker. So we can throw, how do we want to do it? I think I'm going to throw 2 explosive traps side by side, just right in the middle of it all right there. And that should handle that lane fairly darn well. Now over here we've got the EMP Zappers. They are enraged. Now I'm going to throw just 1 Skyguard down here, but I do want to get a little damage on them up front, so I'm going to throw a Flame Aura right here for those flyers to go through. And then here we've got, we do have Cyborgs. We've got a Just Timmy, which is kind of a freebie. And then we've got 8 Berserkers, which are long shots. So I could do the Petrify setup here in this lane. However, how do we want to do this? I think let's just spread a Proton Beam really wide like that. Actually, you know what? We've got so much DU on this map. Let's just double dip it. So we'll go double Protons like that. We do have the Cyborg, so we want to get a little bit of protection in for anything that we place behind it. And then just a little bit more power is not going to be a bad thing. So let's just go with like something like a Reflect Beam back here like so. Now, just to get some AoE packing down through the lane, let's go ahead and throw in some Flame Auras. And then we have Long Shot as well, which everything I built up here is going to contradict that particular mutator. So let's get some Earth Shatters in too, just to get a little bit more pounding going on back into the spawn. Let's go ahead and throw... See, do we just want 1, or do we want 1 and a Poison Dart Tower? I mean, let's do that. Let's go 1 and 1. So we've got an Earth Shatter and a Poison Dart Tower there. Both of those will benefit from that Long Shot mutator on that one. And in addition, they'll benefit from the Armored as well. So these should both do pretty darn good damage. And then we got 1 lane left. We got, Cyborgs out the what? We got some Zerkers, and then we've got some Frost Mobs. We got lots of Goblins. 36 on the Iota lane, another 36, plus 30 on the Thrower lane. So, oh yeah, we're going to go boom the poo out of this lane. I think, you know what, let's do the same kind of thing. We'll go with a Proton Beam covering the lane. We'll get something up front to handle the Cyborgs. We'll just go something maybe just like that. We can get another Reflect Beam back here for anything that makes it through. And then we can just pound it down with some Flame Auras. Let's see, that leaves me 20 left. I think I'm just going to eat the 20 DU. As with all Onslaught, build it, hit G, and watch the minimap. So let's take a peek and see what lane gets pushed, where my attention is needed, as there's no obvious candidates. Really, I guess, other than this Controlled Burn Flyer lane, would be the only obvious candidate for hero DPS. But it looks like we're doing pretty good. We got multiple sources of crowd control going down there. So we got the knock up from the Earth Shatter, plus we've got the Petrify going from the poison and earth damage for any enemies that make it out. We do have Lava Guardians in that lane, as you see them coming out, but, you know, they're going to get knocked up too. So hopefully we have no problems. Now, I am a little worried that this Skyguard is going to get distracted by all the knock-up going in that lane. It looks like it's just at the edge of its range, but that's something I'm definitely going to want to watch. And it looks like we're doing pretty darn good everywhere. Let's just spread a little Frostfire around and kind of see what happens. Looking pretty good so far. All these Boom Servos going off, basically every mob that dies is going to explode. And although that, loses its scaling the higher you climb in Onslaught, super early game, like anything pre-Onslaught 200, Boom Servos are extremely powerful, so definitely something nice to use early game, but you will want to swap it out once you get a little bit higher in Onslaught mode. So that actually went insanely smooth, much smoother than I anticipated. So let's just throw some upgrades around, and I think we will just let this bad boy fly, as it seems like it is going to hold up pretty darn well. Now, I do want to dump the majority of the mana into this side of the map, as this is the side that I would like to just have automated and not really spend any time on. So what do we want to do? Let's hit the Flame Auras, because they're getting a lot of the damage in. Let's get these Reflect Beams. That would be the second major source of damage in the lane, not including that Earth Shatter, of course. The Earth Shatter is going to just wreck. Now, for the rest of the map, I think all of the mana I will just spend over here. We'll throw those upgrades there around just to get things started here for wave number 2. But I think it is probably looking like some GGs are about to happen here on this map. Let's check it out and see exactly what leaks out. So once again, we're just going to stare down the mini-map and just watch for anything making the push. This map is pretty wide open. The closest area we have to a core is right here. So you can really watch the mini-map and have plenty of time to respond if something does leak through anywhere. But I do want to stay close to this lane since it is the closest lane to an objective. And we're looking pretty darn good, really. Let's get a little Frostfire going in those Skelly lanes. We got a Thork rolling out, but that Thork is already countered by having that automation on the Reflect Beam up front. Thork is going to die off there eventually. There he goes. And then here comes our Flyer lane. Just because we have controlled burn there, I'm not going to take any chances on the Flyers, so I will definitely be giving a little bit of an assist onto that Flyer lane. Now, like I mentioned, I just want the entire other side, the far side of the map here. This is the side I'm going to upgrade, so I'm just going to assume the rest of this map is going to go super smooth. Let's go ahead and just throw upgrades in over on this side, and we'll jump on forward to wave number 5 and see how this ends. Wow, that would be great. A great find for AP resets, but no Boom Servo on it. And I'm not going to do any tinkering or anything like that. Just going to go with all of the loot I find on the ground. So let's move on forward to wave number 5. And here we are moving into wave 5. I decided just to spam G through those other waves, so I've got all the mana here. So I didn't do any more upgrades as I said I would, but for wave 5 I am going to throw it all down over on this side. Now this one is a triple lane. Normally it would be the most challenging lane, but it's got just Timmy as one of the lanes, which is without a doubt kind of a freebie. So I'm not really going to bother too terribly much with that lane. But, you know, going to throw a few ups around, and we'll get this lane all jacked up over here. And should be GG's from this point, and a really pretty smooth running map. So we got a Slakelian coming out, but he is right in the middle of all that madness down there. So I'm just not even going to bother with going over there and killing him. Yeah, he's insta-wrecked. But I'm just hanging out on this side. As I mentioned, this is the shortest lane. So anywhere else I can see if anything negative is about to go down on the mini-map, and just, you know, it's a big map, long lanes, so just tons and tons of time to respond if I do have an emergency. But it looks like pretty smooth sailing so far. Just under 300 mobs left, and they are coming out. That just Timmy lane can be a little misleading on the mini-map because you see all the bosses, but it's just Timmy, so Just don't sweat it. Now we got a Bastille Master here. This could go poorly. Let's go ahead and throw a stun from our Sparkle Party out there. And Bastille Master is wrecked pretty darn quickly. 100 mobs left now, so definitely burning out. Here comes our Flyer Lane. Once again, that controlled burn was the only thing that really seemed like it would need to be looked at in any way at all. I think Malthius is just going to get wrecked over there too. We'll have to wait and see if Malthius decides to pop his big old book riding head out of the spawn. But it looks like it's unhappy times for that guy. And there we go. That was floor number 63 on Ancient Power 69. All Boom Servos. So a lot of fun doing these Ancient Power runs. By all means, let me know down in the description below if there's anything specific you want to see. Just focusing on a good time and doing these Ancient Power resets. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.